Twilight Sparkle, Applejack, and Fluttershy were creeping through the everfree forest, carefully making sure they made to keep noise a minimum. They may have been rescue team, but that didn't mean that they couldn't be attacked by one of the dangerous creatures in the everfree forest. Even the slightest rustle of bushes made the ponies jump, putting all the ponies on edge.
Twilight, Fluttershy timidly spoke. Do you have a lead where Rarity might be?
Twilight Sparkle was concentrating on her magic, maintaining a locator spell to try and pick up on Rarity's trail.
Sorry, Fluttershy, but I don't,
Twilight said in a hushed tone.
The spell isn't powerful enough to survey the entire forest, especially with the amount of interference around the area. And I can't make it more powerful. It's hard enough to maintain it as it is. Oh, well, okay.
Fluttershy hung her head.
I hope we can pick up on her trail soon.
Don't worry, Fluttershy. We'll find her, Twilight reassured. I'm sure of it. Fluttershy smiled shyly.
I believe in you, Twilight.
Excuse me, Everpony? Applejack cut in from behind the two. I think this conversation should be shut down for now. Remember where we are?
Oh, yeah, you're right, Applejack, Fluttershy responded. I'm sorry.
Applejack gave a tired nod acknowledgement. As long as y'all know what I'm talking about. Twilight Sparkle shot a concerned look at Applejack. The two of them never resolved what happened at Sweet Apple Acres, and a tense atmosphere hung over the two since then. Applejack caught sight of Twilight's look and quickly averted her eyes from the unicorn.
I'm sorry, but is Everpony all right?
Fluttershy noticed the strained atmosphere and decided to speak up about it.
It seems you two have been down since we left Ponyville.
There's nothing wrong, Sugar Cube, Applejack said, trying to cover up what was going on. It's just, we're all worried about Ray, that's all. She turned to the purple unicorn. Ain't that right, Twilight? Huh? Oh, yeah. Twilight bit her lip. It wasn't right to things like this, but this was neither the time nor place to discuss their issues.
Well, if you two say so.
Fluttershy obviously didn't buy what the two ponies had said, but she picked up that it wasn't an issue that needed to be openly discussed at the moment. So, where are we heading anyways, Twilight? Applejack asked lightly, as if she were trying to falsely reassure Fluttershy that nothing was wrong. Twilight was about to point out Applejack's obvious disregard about her earlier advice, but decided that it wasn't worth the trouble it would cause. I'm really not sure, Twilight admitted. We're just sort of going through the forest trying to pick up Rarity's trail. It'd be much more efficient if the three of us split up, but it's too risky to maneuver to do. So, you're saying we're just walking aimlessly? Applejack criticized. Twilight Sparkle shook her head. Not exactly. We're taking the same path we took towards the ruins of the ancient Pony Sisters. That's only because we walked once.
If Rainbow Dash were here, I'd send her on a scout the area, since she has the skill to do a reconnaissance. But she's not here, and I don't want to risk sending Fluttershy by herself.
I'm sorry, Twilight.
No, it's not your fault, Fluttershy. Twilight took out a compass and pocket watch from her saddlebag. Judging from the amount of time we've been walking, we're about 20 minutes away from the ruins at this pace. Once we get there, we'll have to determine an alternate plan of action. As long as you know what you're doing, Twilight, Applejack commented dryly. Twilight silently stashed away the materials back in her saddlebag in response, not wanting to start another argument with Applejack. The trio spent the next couple of minutes in awkward silence. Twilight Sparkle concentrated on her spell, while Applejack blankly watched herself put one hoof in front of the other. Fluttershy looked upon the other two with concern, but thought it would be best to just let it alone for now. the yellow Pegasus pony sighed. She hated it when her friends were fighting. Crack! The 3 ponies were frozen in their tracks. They all stood glancing at their hooves, making sure it wasn't them that made the sound. Crack. Fluttershy gulped.
That wasn't you two, right?
No, the 2 said simultaneously. Thump. The 2 ponies walking on the ground felt vibrations coming from behind them. Hesitantly, they turned around, and the ponies were greeted by a dreadful sight. Standing behind them was a creature that had 3 heads. The main body and the head appeared to belong to a lion, while the head of a goat was protruding over its back at the center of the spine, all leading to the creature's tail, which sprouted the body of a snake that spat venom towards the ponies.
Chimera!
Fluttershy squeaked. The Pegasus's cry, the Chimera roared, causing the 3 ponies to launch forward, running at their highest speed. Why are we running? Applejack cried out. Can't you calm it down somehow, Fluttershy?
I can't, Fluttershy admitted. Chimeras are vicious creatures, and that one looks hungry.
Can't you use that stare on it? Applejack asked frantically.
It has 3 heads,
Fluttershy squeaked.
While I stare at one, the other 2 can get me.
But you took on a dragon, Sugar Cube.
But a dragon isn't a chimera.
Oh, stop arguing, you 2, and run! Twilight Sparkle shouted. The chimera was hot on their ponytails, threatening to capture one of them if they slipped up. The ponies weaved around the trees, trying to lose the chimera, but it refused to give the chase. To the chimera, these ponies were meal tickets, and the hungry beast wasn't about to let a free meal get away from it. In order to increase their speed and put more distance between them and the chimera, the 3 ponies dropped their supply saddlebags, but the increased speed seemed to have no effect on how close the chimera seemed. It seemed that the chimera was going to catch up to the ponies. However,
Look, every pony, a clearing up ahead,
Fluttershy shouted as loud as her small voice could go.
Get ready to jump, though. There's a cliff up ahead. Maybe we can lose the chimera there.
We have to try, Applejack called out. Taking the lead, Fluttershy quickly flew over the gap. Applejack leapt over the crevice with all her strength and barely landed on the other side. The 2 ponies broke to a halt and noticed that some pony was missing. Girls! Twilight Sparkle yelled desperately. The unicorn was hanging on the ledge with a single hoof. She wasn't strong enough to make the jump by herself. I'm slipping. Hold on, Sugar Cube. I'm a-comin'. Applejack flung herself over the ledge, just barely catching Twilight before she lost her grip on the ledge.
Oh, thank goodness you caught her,
Fluttershy said, relieved, as Applejack pulled Twilight over the ledge.
For a moment there, I thought, oh no, look out!
Twilight Sparkle and Applejack looked back over the ledge. They saw the chimera in midair taking the jump the ponies took. At the rate it was going, the chimera would have landed in front, with its front claws digging into Twilight's head. The purple unicorn was frozen, unable to react quick enough to cast some sort of spell that would save her from the impending doom heading towards her. A small tear formed in her eyes as she prepared for the inevitable. Like hell, I'm gonna let you claw my friend! Applejack leaped into action before any pony else could react, jumping up to give a brutal kick to the upcoming chimera. Somehow, the kick managed to connect in midair with the chimera's lioness's head, diverting it enough force to make the chimera fail its jump. In exchange, however, the chimera managed to dig its claws into one of Applejack's hind hooves, leaving behind a painful gash. The chimera fell down to the depths of the crevice, and Applejack was able to kick herself back onto the ledge where the other 2 ponies were at. Ain't nothing to it, Applejack said lightly.
Oh, dear Celestia,
Twilight put her hoof to her mouth in shock. You're bleeding, Applejack. Oh, this whole thing? It ain't nothing to worry about. Just a little scratch, that's all, Applejack said, trying to hide the pain from her face. Stop kidding around, Applejack. Twilight frantically surveyed the area. Fluttershy.
Yes, Twilight.
Fluttershy was extremely worried and jittery about Applejack's injury. Head back over the crevice and search for our saddlebags, Twilight ordered. There should be some first aid equipment in one of them, so please, hurry.
I'm on it.
Fluttershy quickly flew back in the direction they came from and searched for the bags. The purple unicorn turned her attention back to Applejack's injury. From the looks of it, the gash was pretty deep, and the blood was flowing freely from the wound. Oh dear, what should I do? Twilight didn't know much about medical magic. She only read a couple books on the subject while she was passing time back at Canterlot. She wanted to vomit at the sight of Applejack's blood, but the Earth Pony's life depended on her keeping it together. Hey, why you look so worried there, Sugar Cube? Applejack asked, smiling weakly. It's nothing to worry your head about. I'm gonna be okay. Applejack's weak voice brought tears to Twilight Sparkle's eyes. Shh, don't talk. Save your energy, okay? I guess I should. Applejack winced as she tried to move her leg. Ouch! Guess I'm not going anywhere for a bit. Twilight bit her lip. Regardless if she wasn't skilled in medical magic, she had to try something to keep Applejack from bleeding out. Gathering up a faint memory of what was written on the medical book she read, the unicorn concentrated her magic on Applejack's wound. What are you all doing, Twilight? A cloud of magic burst from Twilight's horn, settling itself onto the gash. I'm using my magic to try to slow down the blood from your system, Twilight said, panting from the effort she was exercising. It's a tough spell, and I'm not used to it, so it's going to take a lot of energy. I don't want you to wear yourself out there, Sugar Cube, Applejack yells. Shut up, Applejack. I am not going to let you die from this. Twilight stared into the Earth Pony's eyes for the first time since the incident at Sweet Apple Acres. You're my friend, so I have to do whatever I can until Fluttershy gets back here. Is that so? Huh. Applejack stared back into Twilight's eyes. I'm sorry, Sugar Cube. I didn't mean to snap at you the way I did back then. Just stop talking, Applejack. You have to save your energy until we get you stable. Shucks, Twilight. This ain't that bad, Applejack lied. You're a horrible liar, Applejack, Twilight said, tears streaming down her face. I guess I am, Applejack smiled. Forgive me for lying to you, Sugar Cube. You see, I just don't want any pony to worry about me. You probably saw right through my act back at the farm. Twilight's spell faltered for a moment due to the emotional interference, but she quickly concentrated back after seeing Applejack's wince of pain from the increasing blood flow. Please, save your energy, Applejack. Afraid I can't do that, Sugar Cube. Applejack smiled again. It'd be a shame if I left this world without letting you know how dear a friend you are to me.